Who should Muslims vote for in the 2024 presidential election? That is the question that's creating wars on WhatsApp groups, dividing people, creating chaos and disorder. With the genocide that's happening in Gaza, obviously everybody in the Muslim community is concerned that they want to make a vote that's going to really uplift the Ummah, reflect their values, and make that change happen. The reality is, my brothers and sisters, there is no right or wrong decision in real life, especially in politics. This isn't science, math, or other physics. This is the real world. And in the real world, especially outside the sciences, there are no right or wrong decisions. There's only consequences, some good consequences or bad consequences. Every decision has some good and bad to it. If you vote for Dr. Jill Stein, you're telling the two parties, listen, I don't support either of you. This is a protest vote that I'm going to go for a third party because they believe more in our values. However, at the same time, voting for a third party, especially on the presidential election, will never work in getting that third party elected. It is not going to break the two-party system because the two-party system in America is the result of a winner-take-all system, which whoever gets the most votes wins 100% of the representation. Unlike in Europe, unlike in the parliamentary system, in which if you get even 5% of the vote, then you get 5% representation. In America, it's not like that. So if you vote for Jill Stein, there's some good and there's some bad. Number two, if you vote for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have armed Israel, have supported Israel, and that has created genocide and allowed this genocide to go on. And at the same time, there's an argument that I think is very strong that Kamala Harris is definitely going to be better than Donald Trump when it comes to the country, when it comes to stability, when it comes to respecting democracy and values, than the opposition. So there's a pro and con. And that's why many Muslims who are more liberal, maybe not as active in the community, are encouraging us to support Kamala. And of course, there's the third option, which is Donald Trump. If Donald Trump wins, then there are going to be pros and cons. The pro is that he's promised to end the war. He's promised to create peace. But at the same time, this guy is more for Israel and more for that country than anybody else. His supporters are evangelical Christians, meaning that they want to support the destruction of Masjid al-Aqsa and the building of the Jewish temple and Armageddon to come. So there are pros and cons for each one. Maybe Donald Trump will be better for the economy. We don't really know. And at the end of the day, us not knowing is a fundamental reality. All the Muslims out there are voting for their conscience. They're voting on what they believe is right. What's not acceptable is the fights that I see on WhatsApp, calling each other traitors and this and that. Akhi, humble yourself. This is not math or science. This is politics. And in the real world, we don't know the ilmul ghaib, what's going to happen in the unseen, what's going to happen tomorrow. And there are no right decision. There are only benefits and harms, things we can understand and things we can't predict because we don't know the future. Get out there and vote. For those who are community organizers, I have a piece of advice. The mu'min is the one who's able to see that there's energy and there's momentum and people want to become civically engaged. The largest group of Muslims who are out there, who are those Muslims who are just not going to vote. They're completely disenfranchised. And all of us have family members in our community who don't vote, who are just not going to get out there. That is the biggest group of Muslims who are eligible to vote, that they're not going to vote. The mu'min is the one that understands that. And they'll use Kamala, Trump, Stein, and what's happening in order to build institutions, build power, build databases, do the boring work that actually is what makes our opposition so strong. They're strong not because they have personalities better than us. They're strong not because they can give speeches better than us. They're strong because they're able to mobilize, organize, and do the boring activity. They use the energy in the society to build their databases, to train their people, to do this work, and that is what makes power. The problem we're having today in our community is that boring element, we don't have enough people doing it. People who are doing it are well-intentioned but unskilled, and the religious ulama, the scholars, are there for edutainment. They're out there to educate the community. It's a type of entertainment. They don't have the capacity or understand how to actually build political power, so all they can do is preach and teach, and hoping that it'll get out there and some people who have deep understanding will get that message and build political power. That's what I want to do, and I hope you want to do that as well. Stop hating your brother, stop hating the people out there, and get out there and vote, do your duty, and build political power with this. Inshallah, have a great day with the election, and we'll see the results as they come in.